morning.
Clearly Johnny's not here, so I'm gonna stand in for him today, but we've got an awesome guest speaker and a couple updates for you guys. So we'll just get right. Oh, actually first, let's do Tell Me Something Good. Because I know it's been an awesome year so far. I'm sure you guys have something great to share with the group. Cindy?
I put 3 in contract already this week.
There you
So,
go.
so it is off to a good start. Yeah. Nice job. Thank you.
Joey, anything good? Barry?
Yeah, I always got something good.
Go ahead, Lacey.
So we got, both of our properties are up. We did our bathroom expansion on our co-living model. And that's pretty much wrapping up. And then we've got people in every room. So that's 19 rooms, minus 1. So we got 1 opening. So
Nice.
19 rooms. And we evicted our first person. And so he's gone. So Crazy left the building. So we're pretty happy. We have a event coming up February 5th that we'll be doing a pre-launch here in the room. And we're changing our model so you don't have to be an accredited investor. And so people can come in with 5, 10, you know, we'll let agents, like people for us, I'll let you come in at 5. Everybody else, your client's 10. I don't want to deal with strangers for a little bit of money. So we're going to do a $250,000 raise probably. And
So that's to invest in your co-living.
in the next co-living. Yeah. All right. Anyway, that's that.
Go for it.
I only know directly launching the real one. We got it for February.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's we launched the real one. Face is gonna be there.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not.
Any more? Tell me
Okay,
something
yes,
good.
I have a new listing, went live last week in Carmichael. It's 625. My seller's very motivated, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. That it's like 1,600 square feet, has pool, it's gorgeous. I did an open house last week. I had 37 groups through in 5 hours. So
Wow.
What's
yeah.
the address?
It is 3129 Murchison Way. Carmichael,
Please spell Murchison.
Murchison.
Thank you for that. I've spelled it wrong.
We got a great new listing we took last night, 741 Fulton Avenue, 3,600 square feet. It's a newer construction, beautiful little side street off of Fulton. I think there's like 7 houses on this little side street, but it's right before Logan's Plaza.
Oh, that's a good
600,
I love that. Price.
Great, what?
999, 3,600 square feet.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna come back around for that. I've got 2 of my sellers. We're starting to see, I met with other property managers. We're starting to see sellers bring homes to market now. Renter that had them as property managers. And so I've got 2 that are coming to the market. One is a 2-bedroom condo out in Folsom, and that one is $429, has a tenant in place, paying perfectly. And the other one is a 3-1, I believe, in Sacramento. That one's on San Jose, and that one is going to be $410, and that one has a tenant in place as well, paying as well. So you should be marketing these off-market properties at your open houses. Take notes of these and tell people, hey, I've got off-market. So anyway.
I've got one, I'll put on the market after this. It's in Roseville off of like Yosemite, so downtown near Vernon. It's a 3-2, completely remodeled 545. And that's 106 Gray Eagle Court in Roseville.
GRA or
It's spelled weird. So it's one word, it's GRAE. Wait, not Gray. Okay. So it's GRAEAGLE, one word.
Great.
Gray Eagle.
Yeah.
Okay, Gray Eagle.
Gray Court.
Court.
And
146.
it's a townhome and it's 1,600 square feet and it's a single story and has yard all the way around. The single story. I'm looking for one. 545.
3-2, you said?
3-2. Yeah. It's 16 and some change, I believe. Yeah, it's remodeled really nice. And we even have like marble floors and marble baseboards. Like my client, if anyone knows my client Betty, I've sold like 8 of her homes. She's always the nicest house in the neighborhood. So
Love it. New inventory. Okay, anyone else want to share something good?
Yep, I got something.
oh God.
Go for it.
Signed my first listing agreement yesterday. We got the full 3.
Yes.
Full 3 since Stockton. on 2630 Stanfield Drive in Stockton. It has a pool, needs some work. We're gonna do some cleaning up, so hopefully we get it, the MLS February 5th.
Nice.
Catching up soon.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. Well, let's hop into it. Oh, the headshot clinic. So again, register so we know like that you actually have a spot. It's not really a just show up kind of a thing, unfortunately. So here's the QR code. We'll hang out here for a second when you guys scan that. But that's January 29th. So coming up next week. Yeah. Awesome. At 11 o'clock. So starting right after this, right? It's Thursday. Okay, next announcement. I think everyone's good. One more. And then Cabo is coming up quickly too. So I think there's still rooms left, like the cool like swim up rooms. That's my favorite event. Unfortunately, I won't make it this year, but if I wasn't having a baby, I'd be there. It's the best. And then let's see, these are the featured speakers for Cabo. Okay, so and then we have the women's breakout with some amazing women too. If you haven't heard them speak, they're really amazing too. Obviously, Kathy Gove is the best. We all know her. So go ahead and get registered for Cabo. Okay, here you go.
Hello,
Hello.
Hey. Bold Trail Academy tomorrow in this room at 10 o'clock. Steve and I are taking a slow walk through the basics of Bold Trail. So it's gonna be week 3. And we're gonna cover the favorite part, which is your database tomorrow. Guys, for a group of agents who all want referrals, we're really bad at maintaining our database. We're just bad at it. We need to get better. We need to encourage each other to get better. So we're going to cover that tomorrow, and really focus on the CRM portion and how to organize your database and how to get it into Bold Trail. While I have the mic, I just want to encourage everyone here. First of all, who here has some sort of social media that they post on consistently? All right. Here's the thing, you guys. Cindy, I've seen your content. Lexi, I've seen yours. You know, Steve gets out there with his. We all need to do better. We all need to do better at supporting each other by liking, commenting, sharing, engaging in it. And so I do have a platform coming up here and putting the final touches on it, where we're all going to log into a Zoom call at like 6:30 at night. And as soon as you post your social media content, we're all going to be on that Zoom call and we're all going to go and interact with it. So it improves our ranking. And that's what we need to do. The more we engage with each other's content, the higher we all rank. And so, you know, Tom Daves put his market update video out there and I engaged with it. And that's really what we need to do. So I want to encourage everyone to do that. Just a side note from what we're covering tomorrow. But it's something I'm trying to do this year and I want to encourage everyone to do the same thing. So tomorrow in this room at 10 o'clock, we're going to cover CRM and I'm going to get deep into how to organize your CRM to get it ready to upload into the trail. Right.
Now talking about lender update. So we have Lindsay up here today to give us a great update. It's gonna be good, I'm sure.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, so rates have over the last, well, kind of to play up that, so over the last kind of 10, 14 days have been fluctuating a little bit following Friday before last, where we saw the biggest decrease in a single day in over 3 years. So rates overall are better. But over the last like 2 weeks, and we do tend to historically see this, after it was following Trump announcing they were going to buy $200 billion worth of bonds, kind of shook up the market. And the following day, we saw a huge betterment in rates. And then when the market opened back on Monday, rates were a little bit worse. And then the next day they were a little bit worse, and then they were a little bit worse after that. So about a couple days where they're bouncing back. So overall, from where we'd started, rates are better. But over the last couple weeks, we have slowly been seeing, but mostly stabilizing, and that's normal. We tend to see that. So overall rates are looking good. In upper fives, low sixes, depending on the product. So definitely a good time. We are seeing tons more buyers entering the market right now. It seems like, I don't know if you guys are experiencing this, but competition seems to be, I was curious what your guys' input was, because it almost seems like we're shifting a little bit back into a seller's market. Multiple offers on properties. It's gonna be an interesting year, but kind of to segue off that, what I wanted to talk to you guys about is the Dream for All program is back. The dates are announced for that. It is a much shorter entry window than it has been in years past. So it's still a lottery system, but it's only like a 3-week entry window. So right now is the time to get your buyers in, get them pre-approved, so that when that window opens up February 26th through, or 24th or 26th through March 16th is how long we have to enter your buyers and their applications in. And then it'll be a lottery system. They haven't announced when they're gonna issue the vouchers, but in years past, it's usually about a month or so after. And then what that usually looks like for us, because it's a lottery system, that is not guaranteed money. We give your clients an idea of what will they qualify for with the Dream for All program, and then what do they also qualify for with standard down payment assistance. So that they have a backup option. If they find something in the meantime, they know what those numbers are. And then if they don't get a voucher, they know what those numbers are too. So that is a big thing to be talking to your clients about, especially first year. Well, they have to be first time buyers for this. And then also just wanted to kind of give you guys some things to be keeping your ears open for. If you are talking to buyers at an open house and they're like, yeah, well, I'm just not really, I don't think I'm financially ready yet. So maybe the Dream for All, because that's coming up soon, wouldn't be the best option for them, but we do a ton of pre-planning with your buyers to get them ready. When they think that they're on the cusp, they know they want to buy a house and it's a goal, but they think I'm maybe not quite ready yet. That's when we want to be talking to them and getting them pre-approved, because we're going to put together a game plan for them, help them get their credit where it needs to be in the most strategic way, so that they are not just throwing money at their cards and hoping that it brings their credit score up. We will run credit simulators for them, help them plan for how to save money, what's that time frame and process going to look like. So if they know that they're ready and they're in a position to qualify, Dream for All, just so you guys know, a minimum 660 credit score, and income limits are high. It's like 232 in most of the area now this year. So most people income wise are going to qualify. And then it's a 20% down payment. And you can also split that up between your down payment and your closing costs. So you can come out of pocket with nothing. And definitely a good conversation starter, and getting people interested in, getting approved and just seeing what those numbers are and getting realistic about where they can purchase. So any questions?
That 232 a combined income of.
Household income. Yep. So it can be multiple people on the loan together. Everyone just has to be a first-time buyer, meaning for the Dream for All, it's a little bit more strict first-time buyer requirements, because they also want it to be multi-generational. So the buyers themselves can't have owned a home in the last 7 years. If you owned a home 20 years ago and you've been renting for 20 years, you're a renewed first-time buyer. So you can just 7 years. And then if you say it's a married couple, one of them has to have parents that don't actively own a home right now. So that's the multi-generational level. That's not the case for the regular down payment assistance. It's just you can't have owned in the last 3 years, and they don't care if your parents own houses. So kind of the.
On that, if the parents are divorced, does that count? Is it?
Yep, if one of them.
One of
doesn't
them
own.
doesn't own. So you could have 4 sets of parents, one doesn't own. Okay.
Yep, if they don't share a household and they don't own, that will count. Yeah, just let us know. If you guys have any questions, you can reach us all at the team email. Probably most of you guys have my cell phone too. Feel free to reach me there. And let us know how we can help. We would love to be a resource for you guys and your new buyers. Thank you. Of course.
Okay, I think that's it for announcements then today. So now we have our guest speaker, Heather Burns, and she's gonna talk to us about staging and some cool creative options that you've gotten today.
Okay, I am Heather Burns. My company is Heather's Houses. For those of you who have not heard of my company, we are based here in Placer County. We service all of the greater Sacramento region. I have been staging since about 2010, started my company in 2012. So over 14 years in business now. We like to promote sustainable business, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Okay. But what I'm really excited to talk about today is a big announcement, which is we are finally able, after 14 years, to say yes to payment out of escrow. This is the number one question that we get. Everybody wants to know, will you take payment out of escrow? And I think that's similar with most of your vendors and service providers. We don't like saying no. We never want to say no. We're in the service business. We want to say yes. So it's amazing to be able to do that. How are we doing that now? I'm sure many of you have experience with third-party financiers. This is a third-party financier. It is different than all the other ones I've worked with and by far better. And I already have clients using it. I onboarded with Notable at no cost. I'm not a representative. I'm just sharing this information with you all because I think you should consider doing the same, and it could benefit you and your clients, especially as listing agents. I go out and meet with people every day, just like you all, and most of them struggle to prepare their properties for sale. They struggle with the cost that it's going to be to move, especially out of state. They're in sticker shock about what they're going to need to do and how much it's going to cost to move. So this is a tool that can really help them. It's super easy. I have flyers everywhere and out in your other area. If you don't grab one on the table, that go over in depth the program. You can use the QR code. It'll take you directly to the website for Notable. I have other brokers that are partnering with Notable because, again, it's a tool that we can use. It does not affect their credit rating. It does not affect their debt to credit ratio. Sorry, debt income ratio. I'm saying that wrong. I'm not a mortgage person. But it does not. So this is great because we have so many contingent sellers, right? So this is wonderful. If they need to spend $20,000 to do repairs, get through all their inspections and prepare their home, paint their home, we now go up to $75,000 with this program. They just did that for California specifically. So for our California listings, they're going to lend you $75,000. You don't have to use it. Just apply. See if you can get it. Who cares if you use it? You don't have to use it, and it's not going to affect your credit. So why not? It's a very quick online form on their website. They have been around for quite a while. They at first partnered with Compass. So they started with Compass. They came to me because they saw that established staging companies are where people were spending a lot of the funds that they were getting from the program. Staging and painting, the two things that people usually need to do, but don't want to spend money on, but need to. But all the other moving expenses. And what I love about Notable is you can use it for things like, hey, we're going to get an Airbnb for the first 10 days to get out of the house so they can show the property because I have 5 kids and 3 dogs and my realtor can't show my house and I can't keep it clean. I mean, we run into this stuff all the time. If you need to board the pets, you can use Notable for that. If you can use Notable for almost anything, you need to fix the pool, do it. You need a new roof, do it. You have $75,000. So anyway, I just think it's great. I know what you guys are up against when you're going out to these listings and how tough it is. And then the challenges with that particular unique scenario. So I'm just going to go over Staging 101. I have a lot to say. I love talking about staging, but I'm going to try to move through as fast as possible. And then if there's anything you guys want me to elaborate on or circle back to, I have handouts and we can talk more afterwards. But I really want to be respectful of your time today. Who here has not worked with this stager, just not super familiar? It's kind of new to you. Everybody? Yep, we got one. Okay. So that really helps me premise what we're going to talk about. Most of you already understand staging's a marketing tool, and that's how I always premise it. It's not about decorating, it's a marketing tool. That is a great way to introduce it to clients for those of you who are not sure how to introduce this concept to your clients, especially in a competitive market. This is just a demonstration of a repurposing of a room. This is the type of thing that we do. This is marketing. This is not decorating, which is number one for me. You oftentimes will have, especially in high-end listings, if you're taking some of those $1 million listings, a lot of our sellers are going to say, oh, well, I worked with a decorator. Oh, I worked with a designer. We custom designed our home. We had a decorator. This is a very common thing that sellers will say to us as to why they don't need to stage their home. The thing about that is staging and decorating complete opposite concepts. That's all you need to know. They're extreme opposites. So you customize your home for your personal preference, working with a designer that has been lovely for your family and lifestyle. That is amazing. I'm glad that you got to enjoy your home in that way. If you bring in a stager, the stager is going to depersonalize your home and make it appeal to the mass market and work with the realtor on the specific demographic that we're trying to target. And that is how we are going to decorate the home. The reason I put this picture in here is because if we lived in the home, I think 99% of us would want our sofa to face the TV, wouldn't we?
Yep.
Right? Like that's what we're gonna do. If we had a decorator or designer, they're gonna set up the room in that way so that it's the most comfortable for our lifestyle. That is not going to be beneficial for photography or flow when we are showing a property. This is where if you're not sure how the room should be set up, definitely consult with a stager. We're going to come in and we're going to rearrange and we're going to use the things they have or bring our own things in depending on who you're working with and help you showcase the space for marketing. Just remind them this is about marketing. So we know you don't like to sit sideways to look at the TV, but look how great that looks, right? That's the best photo. And this is what it's all about. Photos, we all know. Photos are critical. We have to think a little bit harder about what is the content in the photo. I think most of us are already on board with using great professional photographers. It's amazing what they can do, but we really need to think about what's in the photo. Vacant properties, starting with the basics. This is where most realtors that I work with land with their staging experience. It's like, oh, I got a vacant listing. Let's get a couple bids. Let's see what it's going to cost. This is where Notable could help you. If the seller is pushing back, oh, well, why don't we just fill out this quick online form and see if we can get some money? You don't have to pay Notable back for a year. So maybe it takes 6 months to prepare the property. At least when you hit the market, that property is going to look amazing. That property is going to sell faster for more. And then you're paying a very low financing rate and it's extremely low stress. It's going to come out of escrow or in 1 year's time. So vacant staging, this is what we're most familiar with. Rooms actually appear smaller. A lot of people think, oh, if we take everything out of the room, won't it look bigger? No, it looks smaller and you can't judge what's going to fit in there. Only 8% of people have the visual ability to space plan in a room. That's why most of us aren't good at packing moving trucks. It's an actual skill. Okay, challenge 3. Dated properties, we see them all the time and they can be a struggle. They can be overwhelming. You're so excited you got the listing, but the listing looks like this. It's wallpaper city. What are we going to do? If you are overwhelmed, you don't know where to start, you don't know what to recommend, we're going to help you prioritize with the resources available. Whether they're using a product like Notable, or maybe they just have a little money in the bank and they're prepared to sell their property and do what they need to do. That's the ideal scenario. So that's what these folks did. This is a trustee sale. I told them, guess what? We can work with the flooring. We can work with the paneling. What we need to do is remove valances and draperies and paint over your wallpaper. Yes, I said paint over your wallpaper. People always push back on this. We do it all day long. You're selling your property. If you're going to stay in the property, maybe you would remove the wallpaper, but we're selling the property. Let's not spend an extra 10 grand to take it down. We can paint over it, right? No one can tell the difference. Most people move through a house in 8 minutes. They're not going to know whether it's painted over or not. Of course, it's going to be disclosed. We're not going to lie about anything. We're going to tell them we painted over it. This house sold over list last September. All we did was paint and stage. That's all we did. Take down some balances. Wasn't that hard, but the sellers are very overwhelmed, not knowing what the heck they should do with mom's house. Challenge number 4. This is going to go back to mostly our occupied listings. This is how we live. We're crafters. We're very organized with all of our jewelry and beads and things. We also work from home. That's normal. We've all seen it. Our homes probably look like that themselves, but this is not easy to sell. And this is why I'm here to support you. Because when you go to this house and get this listing, what are you going to say? How are you going to approach this? This is what we're going to help you do. We're going to help you lighten and brighten. We want to show off the assets, which are the built-ins, and let this room be open and airy. We're gonna create a customized plan for you so we can go from overwhelming, I can't show this property looking like this, to this property is ready to show. How are we gonna do that? We're gonna get the sellers on board. We're gonna get them excited and we're gonna create a customized plan specific to their unique scenario. So they feel taken care of. So they understand that we know they have to work from home, but we still have to minimize all the electronics. So editing is extremely important. When anyone schedules a consultation for an occupied, I tell them, I'm gonna ask for sellers to pack about 70% of their items. 70%. That's what I would need to pack in my house too. Okay, we don't want this to be a lived-in look. Lived-in looks are very distracting. You guys show property, you know. Okay, this isn't even cluttered. It's just distracting. We got a kitty cat picture over the bed. We got Grandma's old sewing machine. It's a little bit darker than we'd like to see for showing photography and marketing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this room. It's the same room. And by the way, these are cell phone shots, so excuse that. But still, we're just lightening, brightening, we're tweaking. This shows so much better than this. And this is $1 million price point. You can't have the cats and the old antiques in the bedroom. So we're going to help you do that. All right, challenge 5. I should have made this challenge 1, but I didn't put them in a new order because I learned this in my research. Number 1, you guys might already know this. You should be telling me this. Odors. Odors are the worst. And I'm sure you're smelling lots of them. I know I'm probably nose blind. I have pets. If you have pets, you get used to the pet smell. So this is something that I love when I partner with my agents. They say, Heather, oh my gosh, I need you to come out to this house. You know, it's lived in. I'm worried about the accent paint. I'm really worried about the smell. Make sure we talk about the smell. So we talk a lot about smells and how, if you feel uncomfortable addressing things like smells, this is where you want that partner you can trust. But we can do it in a really tactful way. And what I like to say is I recommend to all my clients, which is true, I'm not fibbing, all my clients that we do professional carpet cleaning, that we do professional air duct cleaning, that we do professional window washing, upholstery cleaning, because all these things hold scents. And we really need to know that the second they walk in this house, if they smell pets or other smells, maybe the fish we like to cook, whatever it may be, whatever our house smells like, they're walking out, they're turned off. We have 15 seconds to get them. And those smells are what turn them off. So smells, just overall, like bad condition, just, you know, it doesn't look great when we're just tacking up the window treatments, but we don't have to tell our sellers it doesn't look great. We just have to tell them the why we need it to be different. We don't need to focus on the bad. We focus on what we're trying to achieve. That way, nobody's offended. We focus on, we need light and bright. We are trying to market this house. We can't have it feel dark and dingy, and we definitely have to avoid any smells. So for lighting, we run into this, I think, in 99% of homes. Very few homes do not have bulbs out, do not have mix and match bulbs in all the rooms. These may seem like little things. These may seem like things that like, oh my gosh, am I really going to walk through this 5-bedroom house and address every light bulb? Well, that's what my job is. So if you don't feel like talking about every single light bulb and checking that they all match, well, let's play the stager. Okay, we're going to do that. So not only is this first impression bad because it's dark and we got light bulbs out, but we've got dark accent walls and we need to figure out how to brighten up this room. Painting, number 2 to staging. We could paint out that accent wall, be rather easy. We could also add supplemental lighting and lighten the look without these heavy dark colors just in the decor. The best thing we've got going here is it's an actual really nice house. It's just too dark and we got a light rug. The light rug looks good. But maybe we just put a nice big mirror and add some more lamps and change the bulb and open the window treatment and it could be transformed. Okay, these are the things we can help you do. This is one that I think most of us have in our own life because this is real life. Most of us have a catch-all. Some houses have many catch-alls. It's a room that's just multi-purpose. So this room, dad works from home, daughter plays the piano. We've got a little hangout area with the sofa. We've got a huge cat climber, and I'm standing in the doorway. This is the first room when you walk in, right here in Rockland, typical Whitney home. And there's a giant fish tank behind me. So I've got a fish tank, cat climber, workstation, piano, photographs everywhere, a cool fixture, and a sofa. What is this room? Like, It functions great for their lifestyle. They like to hang out while dad's working and someone's playing the piano and they're feeding the fish. I get it. I totally get it. Like, we have that in our house too. But if we have to sell the house, we have to repurpose the room. This is the first room you see. We need to know what it is immediately. Like, people don't want to think very hard. We have short attention spans. That's why those pictures, the scrolling, the swiping, we gotta just get them immediately. They need to see it, love it, want it. They need to walk in the store and be like, oh, I get it. This is my dream office. Oh my God, I love this sitting room. Look at the cool chandelier. That's what we need them to focus on. What are they buying? Not what are you doing with the space? So repurposing is super important. That's something that we focus on a lot in staging, giving every room a defined purpose. They don't all blend together or they're not all empty, and we forgot how many rooms there were. Again, painting over wallpaper, I can't recommend it enough. That's one takeaway from today. Recommend it. Have some painters in your database, have some preferred vendors, talk to them about this. This is something we do all the time. I mean, which bathroom would you pick? Right sells easier than left all day long. Okay, so avoiding finishes that just don't appeal. Things that don't appeal to the masses. That wallpaper, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It worked for that family. They loved it. It was very formal, but we need to go with what buyers are looking for. They're looking for light, bright, clean, open, and neutral. So neutral, 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 neutral. When you're seeing paint colors, you're seeing the walls, you're seeing all this stuff, just keep thinking neutral. And if you're great with color, that's super awesome. If you need to bring someone in to help you recommend colors, but at the very least, we need to find out if our sellers have paint matches. Do they have those old cans in the garage? I don't care if they're dried up. We need to get the number off the can. We can take that to the paint store and they can make us some more. So we need to be touching up, painting. We need to be going neutral. This is what sells the home because people are immediately affected by color. You walk into a house, you like it, you don't like it. You've already decided in the first 15 seconds, you're not even sure what. Usually it's color or smell, something that is changeable that we can control if we're proactive. So go neutral. We're talking about different colors. We all remember like grays have been in for a really long time. Then now we're swinging into the whites. We've been into the whites for a while. All the high-end homes, everything's white. Go look at the new construction, everything's white. We are next going into kind of a grayish, which is kind of a blending of a beige and a gray. It's on the warmer side. You're probably already seeing this. Some of you may be using it already. But as long as you're staying neutral, gray, beige, white, is probably fine. Okay. Colors to avoid. This one kills me and I had to show you all because this is a realtor client of mine who invited me to do a consultation at her own property, which is wonderful, beautiful home. She painted the bathroom the week before I showed up, knowing she was going to sell the house in roughly a month. So she's preparing her home. She's asking me to come consult. She tells me, I just finished this. I'm in shock. I've been sick for 30 years. Like, that's what I wanted to say. Because there's nothing wrong with this except for you're selling your house, right? This is way too dark. Nobody wants a very, very dark bathroom except for her. And that was great for her. And she thought it matched her stone, which it did. It looked great with the stone, but it's not going to help you sell that house. We should have gone cream off white. So this is what we want to avoid. And it's just funny how we are not objective about our own property. And I tell every seller that your property is usually like a family member because you have this connection with your home. You have all these memories. It's very emotional in many, many cases. So you're just thinking, I've always loved this stone and this color highlights the stone. And I always wanted to have a dark burgundy bathroom. So that's what she did. Because that's what she always wanted for herself, not to sell the house. So when someone can come in and consult and have a new set of eyes, whether that's a stager or yourself, these are things that I hope I'm helping you to know how to address. So color is great. Some staging companies don't like to use color. We like to use color. You know why? Because color photographs. Color pops. We need contrast. Scale and contrast are very important. That's why these paintings look so nice on this wall. We need scale and contrast. Most of us have lots of little pictures of our family members all over our walls. We have no scale. We have nothing to put on that wall. If we take all those pictures down, that's why you need stager.
When you use the word scale, what do you mean by that?
large. So if you've got a large wall that's 10 or 12 feet tall, we can't have a picture this big that we got at Michael's Crafts, or our family photos that are this big on a wall like that. It'll be floating on a huge wall. You need this piece, what, 5 by 4? We need large. So scale. If you go look at model homes, scale, drama. That's what photographs, that's what wows us. That's when we walk in and we're like, wow, we like this space. We don't know why we like it. It just looks good, right? That's what a stager can help you with. So we're using color, but we're using it strategically. We don't have a rust colored wall. We have a rust colored pillow, right? So that's what we're doing here. Overall neutral palette, neutral wall colors. Curb appeal, going back to that 15 seconds that I talked about. I mean, this house, probably if it was your listing, you wouldn't even do an exterior shot. I wouldn't. I would just show the inside. This house is under 5 years old. Toll Brothers house over here in Whitney Ridge and Rockland. They let the yard go because it came with landscaping, which is obvious when you pull in because everybody else is landscaping. You're trying to get $1.5 million and you got weeds and a collection of pickup trucks. Nothing against pickup trucks, but we have to talk to our sellers. Your whole front yard's a driveway. You can't have your truck collection in the driveway, and you certainly can't have a weed patch at $1.5 million in a landscape type neighborhood. So how do we address that? This is where something like Notable can help, because people get overwhelmed. They're like, what are we gonna do? We can't re-landscape. Well, we can at least do mulch. We can at least weed. Maybe we can bring in a dozen plants along focused areas. You know, this is a luxury property. The inside of the property was beautiful, but these people did not care about landscaping, so they let it go. And then they want to sell it, and then they wonder why people pull up and are like, oh, this isn't what I expected. So it's better to advise and have a proactive approach and have these awkward discussions, bring someone else in to help emphasize. I would say, you know, I advise all clients, that helps, and it's true. But as a listing agent, if maybe you only bring a stager in when you get a challenging one like this and you don't know what to say, it's like, oh, well, part of my marketing plan for all my listings is XYZ. So it doesn't feel like you're targeting them saying, well, your yard's a dump and we have to fix it. Right? We're not going to say that. But this is a big problem. Ultimately, redoing the yard, they were willing to spend the money. We didn't sod it, we didn't go crazy, but we also put some focused furniture out there and we came up with a plan. So hopefully you guys are doing this, the pre-list, pre-show plan. Is it me?
There we go.
We need to have a plan for where the trucks get parked for when the showings are happening so that it's not all trucks and driveway. And we can put some nice furniture with some color so that it pops in a photo. So generational gap, this is number 10. I wanted to talk about this. I think it's huge. I don't know about all of you, but most of my clients are 55 and over. Most of them are 65 and over, but in that age group, that is who is selling, especially in Placer, right? They're all moving out of state, retiring, or they're downsizing and going to Sun City or one of the other neighborhoods. Which is great for us, but they've got the bigger homes that they raised the family in that were built in the early 2000s, like all the communities surrounding us, built in the early 2000s. So these homes are beige on beige on beige for the most part, if they haven't been updated, and they're very formal. So we've got a lot of drapes, we've got a lot of valances, we've got a lot of rich colors and jewel tones. What this is a generational gap. This is how people in that demographic of the boomers, there's nothing wrong with it, but they like more formality. They have antiques, they have family pieces, they have china sets, they have crystal. What I like to tell them is you're selling your home, your family home where you raise your kids, it's too big for you, so now you want to go to Sun City and have a 2-bedroom, you're selling it to your children. Guess who they are? Millennials. Right? And when you go to your children's house that are 35 or 30, what is their house like? Their furniture's from IKEA. It's from Target. They don't have window treatments. They don't have balances. They don't want crystal. They're more excited about dishes from Target. So it's a very different mindset and it's a very different way of presenting. This is, I spent $5,000 on draperies 25 years ago. This is, let's take them all down because you got your use out of them and they worked wonderfully for your life. and you enjoyed them. And I'm so happy you enjoyed them. Now let's showcase the open space behind your yard because this is all about photography and showing. So we really need to see the landscape and let the light in, and it's hard to look past burgundy drapes. Same house, formal living dining, other side of the house. People don't even want formal living and dinings anymore, so we really have to make those spaces appeal. If you don't have a great room concept listing and you've got this traditional layout, let's streamline it. This is what we can help you do. And it is so important because people walk into this and like, oh yeah, I can do this. All right. People walk into that and they think, oh my gosh, I'm in my parents' house or I'm in grandma's house. And if you explain it in the right way to your sellers, they get on board. They say, oh my gosh, you're right. My daughter, oh yeah, her house. Okay, yeah, I'll pack all this up. I'm ready to get rid of that anyway. You would be so surprised. I have so many agents that are so hesitant to discuss anything related to the personal style of their seller because they're so afraid of offending them. And it's the approach. And honestly, most sellers are super proactive and they're like, tell me what to do because I just want to, they're so excited about the next house in Sun City or going to Idaho to live next to their grandbaby that they're going to do whatever you tell them to do and they're excited. So don't be afraid to have those conversations. Definitely talk about who the demographic you're targeting is, who's buying that big 5-bedroom house that was built in 2001. Who do we think it is? Now, if you're going to DIY this is my top 10. This is what we tell everyone. This is what everybody needs to do. Every listing in my professional opinion, right? The most basic. As long as you remember the first 3 Ds, you're good. Declutter, deep clean, depersonalize. That is not staging, guys. That is just prep. That is the prep for the staging. But this is something we should advise everybody to do. It's really going to help you sell your listings. And then we go down through 10. Pre-showing routine. Please move all the pickup trucks, right? Let's get them out of the driveway. That's really going to help us a lot. Think about curb appeal. Let's get all the light bulbs matching. Okay. Why does any of this matter? It all comes down to numbers, and that's why I wanted to talk to you about notable. Because return on investment, it is any credible source. Go to ChatGPT, go to Google, go wherever you like searching. Every credible source is going to tell you you make your money back on staging. It pays for itself. Also painting. I can't tell you enough. Painting is money in a can. Your clients need to understand that. Like, you need to paint. You need to touch up paint, repaint, whatever it is based on the scenario. You will get your money back. This house will sell faster. It's going to refresh everything. We don't have to remodel, but we need to discuss paint. Look at all the data. And if you don't want to talk about design per se, we can talk about data. We have a lot of analytical clients. They want to see the numbers. So if we can show them the numbers that it makes sense to paint this wall because we know they really don't want to paint the wall, then they'll start listening to us. These numbers are impressive, right? This is on a $500,000 home. Usually the increased price is $5,000 to $20,000. Most of the time when we stage a home, they say, oh, we were going to list it at $875. Then they come see it after it's staged. Oh, we're listing it for $910. I'm like, okay, because the perceived value of what you can do just by changing decor, by refreshing a home with some paint, rearranging, strategic planning adds perceived value. The house is still the same size in the same neighborhood. We didn't change any of that, right? Staging services, vacants, we talked about it. Vacant assessment, this is if you're in a scenario where like people want to paint, change flooring, lighting, whatever they may be doing. A lot of sellers have big ideas about all the updates that they want to do to sell their homes. Highly recommend getting someone out, get a second opinion, because sometimes they don't need to do all the stuff they want to do. Let's talk about how to prioritize the resources that are available. Occupied listings, about 30% of your companies around do occupied. 70% don't want to touch it for all the reasons that occupied listings are so difficult. You know them all, right? We know them too, because we're putting our stuff in those homes, and we will continue to do that. Why? It serves our clients. If I can make your room look like this, and this is what it was like, that's gonna really help you out a lot. So they get it. They get it. It's a marketing tool and it's worth every penny. It's going to help sell the house so much faster. Let's reduce carrying costs. let's reduce stress, especially for those occupied sellers that are living there and trying to deal with the showings. Staging, hopefully by now, you agree, it's taking a proactive approach. It's about doing all the work on the front end rather than the back end. And this is where I think Notable can help us. Because when we go out, we get the listing, we're looking, we're getting all these section 1, section 2, we've got so much stuff, we need to redo the deck. Oh my God, this is overwhelming. Well, maybe let's just go online, spend 30 seconds and see if we can get some money that we don't have to pay back for a year. By the way, it's amortized. It's an 8% rate on average. It's based off of credit. It's amortized. So if we can sell that home in 90 days, they're only going to pay 3%. If they can sell that home in 30 days, they're only going to pay 1%, right? Every month, a percentage adds on. It's a 1-year term. Average person's going to get an 8% rate on $75,000 if they have decent credit. It's all based on credit. It costs a lot to move. So whether you're staging or painting, maybe they just need junk hauling and moving. Like that's gonna add up, right? So this Notable thing can help you with that too. The other thing to know about Notable, your sellers, it can be trustees, but your sellers need to be on title to apply for the loan. You instantly get the approval. You see it immediately. You can use any vendors you want. You don't need to work with me. You can work with whoever you want to work with. They don't have to be pre-approved on a list. It can be the guys that you like. All they have to do is submit their invoice to Notable. We get paid instantly. So I just send my invoice like I would send it to my seller, send it to Notable, money's transferred, I'm good. So it's really, really easy to use. What I didn't like about other programs as a vendor is that I'm having to add on 10% to my staging bid to cover the cost of being a preferred vendor with Curbio. I don't want to charge these people an extra 10%. They don't have money to pay for this. That doesn't feel right. So I like that this is no fees. It's just the rate, and they will know the rate when they apply. And if they don't like it, they don't use the money. Who cares? That was fun. That was a fun exercise.
I have a few questions for that. Are there, is Notable kind of something that just you have access to? That's
No.
something that everyone has access to?
Well, I'm talking about it. Every single person in this room, if they like the idea of it, they can co-brand, they can put it on their website. Now I just have a flyer in my little presentation that I take to all my clients. It's there if they're interested. If they're not interested, we just do things the way we always do them. So it's just another option, and there's no cost to using it. As a partner, you do have to onboard, learn about the program, and then you're going to co-brand it with your website, and they'd have to approve legally the marketing materials that you're not saying things that aren't true. So, but no, it's for anyone.
Do you know by chance if there's a credit score minimum?
There
I
is.
have to imagine.
Yes, that it is definitely. So I've had like a husband not get it, and then the wife got it. So I've seen that so far. I've been using it since November. I also have another client that's been a client for about 8 years, and he's been using it for 2 months. He's his own independent broker, and he's like, any realtor, I'm happy to talk about it. It's amazing. Their customer service is amazing. Every time I email or call them with a question, like they get back to me within an hour. So I love it. Their website's good. If you Google them, all the stuff is there. My handouts have everything too. I just love that you can use it for anything like dog boarding. That's so great. Like Curbio is not letting you do that. Curbio's like, are you a preferred vendor? Are you doing these
They make
things?
it on both ends.
It's yes, and then we're adding all these fees. So they're all different, and I just think this one's the best. So far, I've been involved with about 5 other products.
Do you have to have your home on the market, or could I use that to fix up rental?
Has to be listed. So this is good for you guys because it has to be listed. It could be listed with anyone. It could be your own listing, your own property, but you have to have a listing date. That is part of the form they fill out, like the date of listing, because it's a 1-year term from the list date that you have to pay the money back, or else it comes out of escrow. They want to bill out of escrow. And we think if you're doing all these things that your home's gonna sell. I mean, half the reason the homes don't sell is because they're just fixer-uppers. There's too many problems. It's overwhelming and no one wants to deal with it.
What would you say the average cost of going in and doing some of the repainting interior, and like you said, the ROI on that is really good.
ROI on that is
Yeah.
amazing.
What would you say people are typically spending? Are they repainting the entire inside of their houses, or?
So generally, when I work with a seller, I don't like to recommend them doing anything I don't think is absolutely essential. So I see a 5-bedroom house, if we only need to focus on the living room and maybe the primary suite, maybe there's some dark colored bathrooms. Let's just focus on those rooms. We're not gonna just say, oh, let's just paint everything. I don't recommend doing more than you need to do. I recommend focusing on the critical areas, which are the common spaces, the first impression spaces, and anything that was, maybe the kids' room had murals. Well, we're probably gonna need to address that. So it's on a case by case basis, but painting, I think, as we all know, it just depends on the home size, right? If this is this little house, big house, and generally we're doing a lot more interior painting than exterior. Sometimes the exterior is just like a little refresh, the front door, maybe some trim that's faded. But I definitely don't recommend doing more than you need to.
You're doing the painting or you're having some vendors that bring in things here?
So I have preferred vendors lists. These are just relationships with other companies that I like. I don't make any money off of it. It's because we're trying to solve problems. And every single house I go to, the seller's like, painter, I need a carpet cleaner, I need a window washer, I need a mover, they need everything. You guys see this. And most of the agents that I work with are excellent and also have resources. So they're bringing, here's my people, I'll call my guy. If my guy can't come, oh, well, then we'll call Heather's guy, whatever, right? So we need to be problem solvers because that's the only way we're going to get this stuff done. So having those partnerships, having those relationships, having a brokerage where you have those resources through your peers, referrals are everything. If you've got a good painter, like, why would you share him? Don't not share him, right? He's gonna thank you for that referral. Maybe you get a better discount next time. So, yeah, absolutely, painting's huge.
What about that seller who asked about virtual staging?
I mean, I'm not against virtual staging. I get calls all the time from people who virtual staged and then the showings aren't going well. So, I mean, when you see them online, pictures are so important, right? We're grabbing them, we're showing the potential of home. That's what we're doing with staging. I think it's very effective at that. I think that where it can be problematic is when they actually drive up from the Bay Area to come look at the 5 houses. And here's one that's staged, here's one that's lived in, here's one that's vacant, virtually staged. And it's like, oh, this isn't what I thought. It's like, it doesn't connect in the same way. I think though, if budget is going to be the determining factor, then why not? That's why I think notable is helpful because it's like, well, if we can get a couple $1,000s and get it actually staged, then people can come and sit down and hang out and like see what it's like to watch the sunset from this house. Where virtual, they're gonna come in and, oh, this is a little different than what I
Being
thought.
paid out of escrow seems like it solves that problem.
You could spend notable on virtual staging too, but it's quite, it's hundreds of dollars versus thousands of dollars. So I like it for that reason. I also think it's great for supplementing, right? So maybe you have a living room stage, but then you have the bedroom virtual stage. The other thing that I've noticed, I'm sure some of you have too, with the virtual staging, it's not all created equal, just like all service providers. So a lot of times it'll be like a 10 by 11 secondary bedroom, and they're showing it with a bed, 2 nightstands, a dresser, and a desk. That ain't fitting in that room. That is false advertising. Like the scale, it's like clip art. So, it looks pretty, but when you get in there, like you could fit a full-size bed and 2 small nightstands, no dresser, no desk. That's not fitting in that room. So that's where, but I know you guys know that you have to say like this was virtually staged. It's always good to show the empty room too. I think that that's now becoming a law, right? We show the empty room, we show the stage. Yeah. So as long as you're doing all of that, I mean, you tell me, how are the showings going with the virtually staged? How do they go? They good?
Well, it depends if the house is good.
Yeah, because
If it's a remodeled house, like if we remodel it and then do the virtual staging, we'll bring in the same amount of people, I
Fine.
think. Yeah,
yeah,
because
and,
everything's updated.
and they're not gonna pick it apart, because when it's empty, we can see every flaw. That's
Yeah.
the other thing. It's like, oh, that stain, oh, those baseboards, oh, that doorknob. If it's staged, I have atmosphere. I have something to look at. I have a place to sit. I have a feel. We're creating a feel. We're creating that wow when you walk in. So, and these are the resources. If you guys need any more data, if you give me your card, if you need me to email anything, I've got handouts, and then I've provided a whole bunch. So definitely check this out.
Are you able to give slides as well?
I can, yeah, I can like make them
If-
into a
if they-
PDF and,
If
yeah.
they-
Yeah, if anyone's interested in any of that for listing presentations, I'm happy to provide.
Lead time you need,
On what?
lead time, you need to call you got a house and turn around.
To stage the home? It depends. I mean, we do same week. It really depends. I like to say we're booked 2 weeks out. That changes all the time. Right now, we're booking into February for sure. Things just all of a sudden picked up. So it does fluctuate, but I think you can never be too early. It was like what the mortgage lady was talking about with getting people educated, pre-qualified, looking at all the scenarios. If someone's thinking about selling, you can never consult too soon because likely it's going to be more work to prepare the house than they think. And a lot of sellers are very ambitious, but they're like, get this house on in 2 weeks. And you're like, yeah, you have 30 years worth of stuff. And you need to paint, and you need to window wash, and you need to clean. Let's be realistic, and sometimes it just makes more sense to back it out a little bit to do it right because we only have one chance to make a first impression, especially online versus, okay, we put it on because they wanted it on in 2 weeks and now it's crickets. So that's what I like to help avoid.
Heather.
Yeah.
One of the best staging presentations I've ever seen. It's a
Yeah.
really good.
Really? Thank you.
Heard a lot of.
Thanks so much. I'm happy to be a resource. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, if you have any questions, she has flyers and business cards out, so go ahead and grab some of those on your way out. But otherwise, have a great rest of your week and we'll see you here next week.